Good morning. Okay, we're gonna try this thing. I'm not really sure if it's gonna work out. I wanna kind of test the waters a little bit and see what kind of reactions I get, see what kind of, well, no one's gonna react, no one's watching. I gotta go to the dentist, so let's get this done. So we're looking at Trump's brain dysfunction goes mainstream. It's going mainstream. So I didn't know Trump had a brain dysfunction. I didn't know that. I thought that was Biden's whole shtick. I'm not a huge political guy, but as you get older, you realize you exist in politics. I could go move to a mountain, meditate at a temple, which I've done, which I do. When you're sitting, staring at the wall, staring at the floor for 8 hours a day, for a month or 3 months, that's it. I've done 3 months. That's my peak. Politics ends up sounding pretty fun, interesting. I admit, the older I get, the more I get sucked in by politics. Enough of my disclaimers. Trump maybe has a brain dysfunction, but I don't know. I haven't seen this, so let's see.
And reporters from NPR and PBS are now talking about the fact that Donald Trump is making no sense at his rallies, alluding to the brain issues that many mental health and neurology experts have been outlining to you on this program for years.
I don't know what side this guy is on, this David Pakman. I have no idea. But I think we're about to find out, that's for sure.
Lack of coherence of Trump at rallies. And you know it, I know it, he's glitching all the time.
Okay. Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat
I like that one. Will repeat do Anyway, they're talking about it and this is good news.
All right, Mr. Pac-Man, so far you got to give me a little
President
more
Biden to undergo some kind of cognitive test. It's clear to say Mr. Trump's remarks are not at all coherent in these rallies.
Mr. Trump's remarks have never been super coherent in his rallies. I'm not sure that I can weigh in
NPR.
on how much they have.
I like NPR, don't get me wrong. That's where Joe Frank came from. That's where This American Life came from. Morning Edition, or All Things Considered. And, I used to listen to them all the time when I was driving to work. And I always thought they were kind of fair. Now, obviously, I realize they're veering a bit. I want to see some proof here. Enough.
Something about here.
A very short period of time. So I said, let me ask you a question. And he said, nobody ever asked this question. And it must be because of MIT, my relationship to MIT. Very smart. He goes, I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater? And there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there.
Yeah.
By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Did you notice that?
I can't wait for this.
I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they...
So I won't play the whole thing for you, but what I do want to point out is that when they talk about Biden mumbling or stuttering, as a guy who's had a lifelong stutter, or sometimes
wrap it up, Junior.
A symptom of age-related slowing down, pointed out.
All right, listen, I'm not a Trumper. I'm not a Trump thumper at all. I think it just looks like Trump stuff. That's just not enough. I'm not a Trump thumper, trust me. I'm fair. I like to be fair in these things, and it's just not enough. I'm sorry, I'm not convinced. I'm gonna kick it out right here, unless he's got more clips, which he does not. He's got a big ad there. That's it. I think he's pulling at straws, kind of pissed he wasted my time. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Let's look at old Biden here. Frozen Biden, conservative viewer at White House event. Let's take a look.
Interesting thing happened at the White House. Juneteenth musical festival
yesterday. Some Fox News, of course, Fox News.
Today at the White House, and the president was there. And many people that were observing it, and you can go on Twitter and see it, they think that the president froze during that moment.
So we've got a bunch of, I assume this is in America, we've got a bunch of African-American people all dancing and vibing. I don't know what this event is.
I think that the president just has no rhythm.
And he's just standing there while everyone else is clapping along. It looks like some kind of gospel. Hi, Peely. Looks like some kind of gospel, maybe some kind of gospel. I don't know.
That's what Mike Lee, the senator, said.
Yeah, and I agree with the senator. And the reason why this is important is because if you've known Joe Biden, he always says that he was a part of the black church. He marched through the civil rights.
Joined the NAACP.
Joined the NAACP very early. And for someone that has been around black people.
He just pounded it. He's coherent. I'm not a Biden thumper either, don't worry, but he just pounded.
His entire life, been in the church, dancing with him and everything. He has no rhythm at all.
Okay, so far, Fox News, I don't know who this gentleman is who's talking right now, but Fox News is not saying, oh, his brain is melted, he's gone. They're just saying he has no rhythm, which is incredibly plausible. He's white, 80-something years old, and he just looks uncomfortable. He's just standing there. He bumped. He did the bump. He looks like he's alive.
They could dance just as good as we could.
But you can at least clap. Anybody can clap.
Lawrence, don't overstate it.
I'm just saying.
Don't overstate white people.
Maybe I got it wrong, though.
Don't overstate white people. Don't overstate white people. I swear to God. It's as if the guys at Fox News are coming to his aid. They're defending him, which I think is kind of nice.
Keep up with you. The president certainly is motionless as he listens to Kirk Franklin, and Kirk was
maybe he heard the song so much.
Right.
And Joe Biden never mentioned his political opponents by name, but you could tell who he was talking about. Listen to this from the president last night.
All right, let's hear
Be
it.
clear. They're all ghosts in new garments trying to take us back. Well, there are. Taking away your freedoms, making it harder for black people to vote. Or have your vote counted. Closing doors of opportunity. Attacking the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's about our present and our future. It's whether that future is the future for all of us, not just for some of us.
DEI is down 44% among corporate America.
I'm going to move on
It's not
from this.
Republicans. And by the way, if you want to go back into...
He's a bit of a rambler,
past,
but it seems like he's able to read cue cards, and teleprompters. It's fine. Like guys at Fox News, they're not tearing him down. It's okay. If he pulled a Mitch McConnell, right? If he pulled a Mitch McConnell, like what we saw in the past, let's see if we can find that. Okay, 3 things. Number 1, for some reason, the camera turned off, cut the recording. So I lost half the recording after talking about Biden. Number 2, I had to go to the dentist. And so I'm come back from the dentist and my mouth is filled with gauze right now. And I had a wisdom tooth pulled. It was intense. I was just about to sit down and the power goes off. And this is after he gave me the Novocaine. He did it. And right after the power turned on, I had to re-record this. We're re-recording this. It's a shame. I know it sucks. Number 3. What was number 3? Oh my God. Oh, I remember number 3. Number 3. I'm wearing a different shirt because I'm sitting here in the heat and was doing this video and the shirt stank and I didn't want to make the dentist suffer. So anyway, this whole thing about Biden. Everyone at Fox News seems to not be jumping on that typical bandwagon of, oh, look at him, he's not fit for da da da, They're just saying, he's an archetypal white dude who doesn't have any rhythm. They're almost saying, hey, give him a break, And I bet the producers are going, no, this is not what we talked about. This is not what we normally, hey. But they're, what are you gonna say? Oh, fuck this guy. He's just standing there. Everyone's clapping. It's not like he was staring off into space and he started like doing calculations in the head with his fingers. He's an old guy, he's seen it all. With Biden and everything freezing, if it's like Mitch McConnell, then I would be worried. This is a night and day compared to what we're looking at with like Trump and Biden.
Cooperation and a string of
See, right now he's reading the teleprompter and he's just like, I've said this bullshit 50,000 times and it's just getting jumbled up in my head. He's lost the narrative completely. This guy's going, what's going on there, Mitch? This guy's going, should I kill him? This is like Seeker, so should I kill him now? Okay, he's done. Yeah, he's done. He's cooked. Yeah, he's finished. So yeah, if it was like that this is a little more concerning, Does he have a brain malfunction, whatever it is? No, he's old. But if I saw that with the Biden clip, perhaps there's things out there. Let me know if there's other things out there. Are there other examples out there of him really melting down like this? I really haven't looked into it. I just grab the headlines and just start talking about it. That's all I'm doing right now. Just trying it out. I'm telling you from both of them, from Trump and from Biden. Biden's in more trouble. I hate to give it to the Trumpers, but that Trump thing, whatever, he's just full of shit and he knows it and he doesn't care and Maybe he just got caught in a full of shit thing. All right, so moving on along here. It's not going to be as funny anymore because, I already did all this. But at least I know what I'm talking about. So this other thing actually caught my interest. A lot of digital nomad visas coming out from these countries. Thailand has just launched 5-year digital nomad visa. I mean, I'm in Bali and I have an investor visa. Everyone ran to get an investor visa during COVID. There was no other choice. Otherwise, you had to leave the country of sorts. They were letting you stay, but no one knew what was coming in. And just to avoid lots of problems with visas and scares and threats, they didn't want to kick everyone out because we were kind of the only lifeblood left for the tourism industry there. But instead of having all these scares and confusions, a lot of people just went and got business visas. And I think what's really happening is, I don't know how long a lot of these digital nomad visas have been around. They're different from investor visas. I don't know how long they've been around for, but they seem to be sprouting up. And I swear to God, I think Thailand wants some of that Bali juice, because Bali, the secret is out. Everyone knows about Bali. Everyone's moving over there. Everyone's grabbing an investor visa, Kitas they're called. You get 2 years on that, then you renew, you get another 2 years, and it's just a huge visa. But these are 5-year visas, but you've got to leave. So every 6 months, you got to jump out of the country and then fly back in. But you get 5 years, at least you get that. And you pay $300 each time you come in. So you leave and you re-enter. Same thing doesn't need to happen in Bali with an investor visa, but you got to pay a lot of money to get it renewed after 2 years. Instead of starting a company and investing in all this stuff, you just get this digital nomad thing. And so obviously you have to have something going on before you enter. See, when I was in Thailand, it was only 2-week visa. And now they have tourist visas for 60 days. Yeah, I mean, I kind of went there and left. A lot of people would bounce around to Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia, then re-enter. I didn't spend much time there. It blew my mind. Thailand blew my mind. It was the first place I went besides Mexico and Japan where I was really doing this sabbatical. And I mean, look at Thailand, man. Like, to me, I was like, this is tourism. All these bright colored shirted people, mostly kids, a lot of top knots. See a lot of top knots there, getting fucked up, spending nothing on their accommodations, just so basically they could just go out and get fucked up at night and just do all these naughty things. This looks like AI. It doesn't even look real. It's like the islands, they have just the shitty little rooms. They just shove people on buses and just get them to the islands, get them to these destinations. And everyone just runs around painting their face, drinking these buckets. And it really is like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to completely blow my mind out, spend as little money as I can. But they know how to extract all the little pennies from you. They know how to do it. Places like Bali's getting more expensive, but places like Thailand, they're still remaining relatively affordable for like this idea of things. Look at these parties, these full moon parties on Koh Phangan. And then you have people who say they live there because it's spiritual, kind of like Bali. Anyway, that blew my mind. I only needed 2 weeks. So yeah, it's opening up. I don't know, it's interesting. You got to be 20 years old and you got to be self-employed, work for a company outside of Thailand. Be self-employed. Okay, then you do whatever. So what does that mean? You got to have some kind of income. Wow. Okay, visas does not yet specify minimum income. Up until now, remote workers who wanted to stay in Thailand long-term had to meet a minimum annual income of 80,000. That's nothing. That's decent money, That's decent money. A lot of people scoff like you have to make 100,000 in America just to break even, but still, 80,000 is a good income if you're outside of the big megalopolises. But now you have to prove you got about $15,000 in the bank. All right, that's very doable. You show you've got some money. Maybe later they'll change it, just like in Bali, they keep changing everything. But interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of countries offering digital nomad visas. Let's take a look here. Digital nomad, the countries where you live and work. Spain. Okay, Spain. So places in the EU, they're offering these things. Got to be making about $2,000 a month. That's very doable. Greece. Wow, Greece. Okay. 3,500. Okay. Well, that's getting more up like to normal incomes. Like break even stuff in America, I'd say. Indonesia, Ubud. Country's new digital nomad stay in the country up to 5 years, meaning you don't have to worry about renewing it for a long time. But the benefit of having a business visa, investor visa, Kitas, is that it can roll over into what's called a Kitop. And that is really on the road to permanent residency rather than, I don't know, these things, you get a digital nomad visa and after 5 years it's up, you got nothing, there's no credit to your name per se. If you want to go down the residency route, you got to kind of start all over. Portugal, okay, they want about $3,000 a month, okay. Costa Rica, $3,000 a month, oh wow. I hear Costa Rica's expensive, but I've never been. UAE, $5,000 a month, okay. Dubai crowd, it's a completely different kind of expat. I really don't know how it works over there, but yeah, it just seems upper echelon party thing. I should try. Croatia, I know I already read this before, but I was surprised when I read this. I used to live in Croatia. I had this thing where I had to leave every 3 months, and then come back. I could stay for 3 months, and then I had to leave for 3 months, come back for 3 months. And I was dating someone. It wreaked havoc on our relationship. It wasn't good. And I was always like, there's something we can do. Don't worry. Of course, their solution is always get married, get married. And at the time, I was like, well, let's see how we go. Oh God, it's not even dollars. Oh, it's like 2.5 thousand. Okay. This would have been an option for sure. This would have been very good, but they didn't have it at the time. Proof of employment and show health insurance docs. Okay, health insurance is easy out of the States. You have health insurance that you buy, international health insurance. The only question they ask you is, do you want insurance in America? Like that's the primary price. And if you want insurance in America, I don't even want to say the price triples. I don't even want to say it quadruple. It's exceedingly high. It might even like sextillion ipple. Sexipple. Ha! Brazil. Okay. Iceland, interesting. Ooh, they want 7,003. I forgot. Wow. Huh? 1.5 thousand Brazil. Why, that I understand. It's riddled with crime. Okay, Barbados. Whoa. Oh, they want you earning 50,000 a year in Barbados. Okay, so there you go. Good luck. Good luck in finding your expat country. Okay. Alex Jones faces day of reckoning over what he owes Sandy Hook family. So Alex Jones, as you know, was talking a lot of smack about the Sandy Hook school massacre being fake. He got sued by the families. Took a long time. This is in 2012. And they won. And he owes them $1.5 billion in damages for spreading lies that the 2012 school shooting never happened. So, it's kind of like these conspiracy theorists are starting to get a muzzle. And of course, that only fuels their narrative that it's the government or whomever trying to censor the truth. Obviously, to him, the truth is allegedly that the families of the victims are actors and nothing's really real. And they're trying to create some kind of something for whatever reasons. Of course, them trying to sue him and shut him up, effectively shut down his entire InfoWars news broadcast network, is of course continuing the narrative that the government and these extraneous powers just getting rid of people who are getting too close to the truth. So anyway, they're trying to collect. How do you collect on 1.5 billion? You hear people getting sued all the time. And it's like, yeah, but they won't be able to collect on anything. Like with O.J. Simpson, when the Goldman family sued him and they won, they took control of his book called If I Did It. So they own the book called If I Did It, which is, if I did it as O.J. Simpson, if I did do it, here's what happened, right? And he was making money on the book. They took control of the book and they changed it to I Did It, except they didn't change it to I Did It because that'd be defamatory. And they shrunk the if to a very, very small size. Here's the book cover, and they shrunk the if to a very small, I did it, but it's not, that'd be defamatory. So you just say if, very, very small size. So anyway, that's how they were able to start collecting money. People buy the book and the Goldmans get it. So how are these people going to collect, these poor people, going to collect money from this this guy who's just having a go at all of our psyches, creating hours of content of memes and stuff we can make fun of that we all know and love, but eventually, you put an eye out with that thing. So he's putting eyes out. Allowance keeps his home. Texas allows him to keep his home, which is worth more than $2 million. I thought his home would be worth way more. He's got to be making tons of bucks. Free Speech Systems, I guess, is his media company in which he has to shell out the money, fork out the cash. He might file for bankruptcy, but it's unlikely to shut him up. You can't force him to shut up. Of course, that's the conspiracy to Jones, is that they're just trying to get him to shut up, not the families, probably. I'm imagining he's thinking this, but them. Probably some ethnic group of lizard people. I've touched on this before. I have friends who are just absolutely enamored, just sucked in to these things. I did a wonderful Low City episode. I decided to find out what was going on with COVID. And it was like 2021, something like that. And I was afraid to look at the ideas and conspiracies behind COVID. And then I decided to expose it, and document it. And I talked to a friend, and he led me down the rabbit hole. And, I'll spoil it a little bit, but God almighty, did he waste my time. There's an advertisement in the beginning, just ignore that. But seriously listen to the video's analysis. Okay, thanks. And as an added incentive, he said, I have a QAnon t-shirt ready for you. LOL. Yeah. I reminded him that this was serious YouTube investigative reporting. It was the most dramatic opening I'd ever seen. It felt like whatever I was about to watch was as serious as a briefing for a mission to rescue hostages from Alcatraz. It's a really interesting documentary. I got hooked a couple times, and then right away I saw through it, and no matter what I said to him, no matter what I showed him, he's like, oh yeah, I bet you're looking up a website that's debunking it. Oh, I bet that you think, and he would even admit the stuff shown to me was not truthful, was deceptive. He's like, well, the director's just trying to show you what he's really like, even though he's using things out of context. And it's just like, oh my God, this is nothing you can do. And I love the guy. I hang out with him. I enjoy talking to him. I keep wanting to have a podcast with him, honestly. So even when they're kind of liquidating his stuff and taking some of his assets, he's still living on $100,000 a month, just to about 10 million of assets that he's got. Somehow he's making some money somewhere. After bankruptcy, they have more access to see what assets he has. And he says, I'm sure he's been doing some doomsday prepping. And that's quite funny. Very good, Muschenberg. Okay, so he started another company where he wants people to buy supplements from, which is where he makes a lot of his money. But a new company, not owned by InfoWars, but by his father. Attorney for the families argues that it's a violation of bankruptcy law. So even if he's creating other companies with people he trusts, not having his name on it whatsoever, they're still saying, we're going to get you for that. That's the kind of loopholes we have in America. You just put companies in other people's names. You have nothing to do with it. You just trust them a lot, and then you'll get your money, and they'll get their share and all this fun stuff. But they're saying, no, we're going to try to go for that as well. Yeah, so they're just going to start digging in, and of course, it's going to drive the narrative home more. And this is very interesting, too. So this professor makes a very good point here, Bruce Markell. He says that there's a bit of irony here, that if the families expect to make money, well, Jones has got to keep making money, and that's where the assets will come from to pay off this $1.5 billion tab. But the irony is that the whole reason Jones is in trouble is because of as Markell puts it, Jones's bile. He would profit from bile, which is a disgusting acid that breaks down fat that comes from our gallbladders and livers, and it gets in your throat, and you don't want it there. So anyway, the crap, he says, that Jones has put out is what got him in trouble. But in order for him to pay back the sum, he has to continue to make this crap. So it's just a self-feeding system that's going to go on and on and on unless they shut him up. I don't see an end to Jones at all. I don't see an end to him. It's going to keep going. He's living on $100,000 a month. Man, I'm jealous. Do I need to say some conspiratorial crap to live on $100,000 a month? Let's go. He's going to be around. There's no stopping that guy. And he's too big of a figure. He's kind of like a Trump-type figure. He's so famous. He could say anything and say the opposite thing the next day, and they're going to go, yeah, well, I know what he's talking about. Even though there's contradictions there, he's just like, no, I get him. I get this. What are you going to do? You know, they're coming after him. Things change. You know, he's got fanboys. It's done. Okay, BBC News. They're talking about gun laws. Of course, you know they're going to be everyone loves America gun laws. So, you know, let's see what they have to say. I try to keep sources mixed up a little bit. The U.S. Supreme Court lifts ban on gun bump stocks. And I didn't even know what a bump stock was. But I had to kind of look at it again. Bump stock. Okay, so these are interesting. I guess these are just stocks. They're just things that you hold against your shoulder to, like, deal with the recoil. Supreme Court lifted ban on bump stocks, a rapid-fire gun accessory used America's deadliest mass shooting. Sorry to do all these like mass shooting things. I didn't know I was going to start talking about that, but obviously it would if we're talking about guns. So the court said that government did not have the right to ban accessories. Trump administration banned bump stocks after they were used in a shooting that killed 6 people at a concert in Las Vegas in 2017. And that's interesting. I'm surprised Trump did it, but that's what I mean. Like Trump can do anything, and his supporters will go, yeah, you know, even though they might love guns and things like this. Whatever he does, they're just going to go, awesome, we love it, you know. Texas challenge said the government went too far. And I guess the whole idea is that they're saying the reason they banned it in the first place is because they said it made a gun a machine gun. Like a machine gun is you hold down the damn thing and you know, as a kid. Oh, that was dumb. Semi-automatic is you got to pull the trigger every time. And a non-automatic is you have to cock it. So semi-automatic could be a pistol too. You shoot the thing. The bullet blast shoots out the metal piece, and then it pulls back the cock, and then that cocks out the shell, the used bullet, and then it reloads the other one. That makes it automatic, but semi, where fully automatic is right? And they're saying this bump stock makes the gun a machine gun, but it's like you don't know the difference between a machine gun and a semi-automatic. I don't know anything about, I mean, I know that much about guns. I don't own a gun. I don't know what's going on. That's the difference. They're splitting hairs between what's a machine gun. So they lifted that. So now they can continue to have their semi-automatic assault rifles, which, you know, I mean, it's a difficult topic. Even my Zen master, and I'm the only one who calls him master, but my Zen master, I think he has a menagerie of guns. You know, he doesn't mind me saying these things. Even Destiny, the left-wing, hair-colored, bisexual debater.
When you say we don't generally use force, we absolutely use force. We've enforced vaccines for a long time. It's an important part of public health.
Fair enough.
He believes in the Second Amendment in the United States. So, I mean, it's a hot topic. I didn't know what a bump stock was. I thought it was in the stock market. They made a law based on maybe not understanding how guns function. I don't know. But in a way, that's good. It shows that they're not just trying to completely shove things out by law just because they don't like it and using strange loopholes and semantics to get it done. So anyway, I think that's a good thing. That's all I really got to say. I don't know if this works or not, but all right, that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Shit.